Hey everybody, this is Ben here at thatcologneguy coming at you with another fragrance review. If you follow my channel, you know that in the last episode I looked at Encre Noire by Lalique with the Perfumier of Natalie Lorson, one of my all-time favorite. This is a 2006 woody aromatic. And so after I uploaded the episode, I got to chatting with Jonathan. Hi Jonathan. And we commented back and forth on the flankers, and I just couldn't resist. So here is Encre Noire À L'Extrême, and this is kind of an unboxing for me, actually. I just got this. I simply couldn't resist because I liked Encre Noire so much. And let's take a look at this one. So in terms of the bottle and sprayer, the one thing I would note is, of course, as you can see here, this one is half opaque and then it's half transparent. You can see, of course, the juice, which I really like. I prefer this bottle more. I like the minimalist design of this, but I don't know. I like Encre Noire À L'Extrême more. I like the fact that I can see the juice, but I like its ode to the original. The one thing I would say is, if you can see here, look, the cap feels like it should be either magnetic or it should clasp, like you should hear a sound. Notice you really don't hear it fall into place. And it spins around and it seems kind of loose. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually kind of jostling around. Not a big fan of the cap, but I will say that the bottle design is fantastic and the actual sprayer itself is magnifique. So as you can see here, all right, there we go. Now the whole room smells like this. Wonderful. This is a wonderful sprayer. So hats off to them on the bottle design. I like it even better. And then also the sprayer is excellent, just as it was with the original. So this is a 2013 flanker. Same Perfumier, also woody aromatic. And let's take a look at, I think, what they had in mind. So as far as the notes, we're looking at, I'll read all of them, but I'll tell you the ones that I get. Bergamot, cypress, incense, vetiver, sandalwood, and patchouli. But I really get heavy cypress, a very dark vetiver, of course. This is not a clean vetiver in my estimation, just like its predecessor. These are dark vetivers. So cypress, vetiver, incense, and enough patchouli where you can pick that up. So you might say, and here's what I think's happening. I think the bergamot is here kind of flying under the radar, and just enough, though, it has just enough presence that it lightens this up a little bit so that it's not as dark as Encre Noire. So I think the word I would use for this flanker is accessible or perhaps approachable. I think what they had in mind is, if you look at reviews for Encre Noire, most people will say, first of all, that they love it, I hope. But they will also tell you that it is not blind buy friendly, which is definitely not. This one, however, this is kind of a blind buy friendly vetiver, if there ever were one. It smells a little more fresh than this one does. And so that's what I think they had in mind. I think they wanted to kind of put this, you know what I see this as? To me, this is kind of like Encre Noire meets Man in Black. It is very, very nice. It's very well done, Man in Black. And then you have Encre Noire that has this kind of dark, mysterious presence to it. And this is kind of the marriage of the two. This one you would say dark, mysterious. You might not say sophisticated, whereas this one you would for me. And I think I like the fact that it has just enough freshness to bring it out of the, it is heavy, but the kind of dark, mysterious quality, and into the more, shall we say, sophisticated smell. Okay, so those are the notes. Now, this is an EDP, and one thing that I was a little bit surprised by is the longevity itself. For an EDP, it is good, but it's not excellent. Now, it might be because I've been reviewing amouages for a long time, but I feel like I should have gotten more out of this than I did. Longevity-wise, you will be looking at 6 to 8. You will not be looking at more. And I would say 6 to 8 is, I mean, you're looking at really kind of closer to 6, barely making it to the finish line at 8. I was a little disappointed in terms of longevity with regard to this fragrance, especially because it's an EDP, right? I feel like it should, and it's extreme. So in terms of projection, it's also good, but not excellent. So it's going to stay close to the, well, sorry, it'll stay within an arm's length at first, the first 2 hours. And then from hours 2 to 6, it'll be quite close to the skin, and then from 6 to 8 it's really just going to be right on the skin. So would have liked a little bit more out of this. So some on Fragrantica that left comments about this said that apparently after, see how did you hear that? That was I just turned it over and it actually fell off. See, I don't look at that. I don't like that. Apparently after the batch after 2016 isn't so great. So I don't know which batch I have. I'm not a big fan of all that. Either you like something or you don't. And so I would definitely take off points for that. And as you can see here, like I said, definite points off on the cap. Okay, so projection and longevity are good, decent, but nothing more. Certainly not beast mode, and certainly not what you'd expect from an EDP. Now, in terms of age group, this is a 25 and up. There's no ultra mature smell to this. This doesn't get it close to like a grandpa smell. This is definitely more of a post college. I would imagine 25 and up for this. Just because it is a dirty vetiver, I would see this more. There's again, though, you know the deal. There's nothing stopping, of course, high school or college, but I would imagine that their target audience is 25 and up. This is clearly a masculine fragrance. I don't see this as unisex, although I see this probably as slightly more unisex than the original. That said, though, this is still on the continuum. This is still quite far over on the masculine side. So in terms of seasons, you're going to see winter, slightly fall, and oh, by the way, more winter. So this is still a heavy scent. This is something you would imagine in a colder climate. I don't see this in 85 degrees and up weather. That said, and there's nothing to stop you from doing that, though, but I think in really hot weather, this would be very cloying. The other thing I would say as far as day and night, I see this more as a nighttime scent. You could wear this to the office, but because it is rather resinous and it is a very heavy scent, you'd want to watch out. You want to make sure you don't clear out a room there. I would see this more as, like its predecessor, kind of like a putting it on after work and having it last well past midnight. So no difference there. As far as events are concerned, I don't see this as a suit and tie kind of fragrance. I see this more as a leather jacket, going out, social, happy hour type of event, clubbing, concerts. I don't see this as a formal attire fragrance. Okay, now the rating on this is actually going to be very, very easy because this is, in terms of its smell, this is a 5 for me. This is absolutely 5 out of 5. So if you follow my channel, you know that I rate everything in terms of 5 sprays. I would give this a 5 out of 5 sprays for my rating. However, for an EDP, you should be clocking in at 10 hours or more, in my opinion, especially with really, really, really good projection. This doesn't get that. I'm not ultra disappointed, but I am disappointed. If you're looking for a very, very heavy winter scent that smells excellent, then you're on a budget, absolutely consider this one, because for $30, you will love how it smells. I wish it lasted longer, but hey, for the money, what's wrong with reapplying throughout the day? So that's the counter argument to the poor longevity for an EDP, is that, of course, an amouage is going to cost you $250. This is going to cost you around $30. So for the buy, it's a fantastic deal. But again, we always wish it lasted longer. So out of 5 sprays, I would give this a 5 in terms of just its smell. I positively love this. This is really, for me, a midpoint between Encre Noire and Man in Black, both of which I love. This is slightly more accessible, and for that reason, I see it right in the middle of the two. It's just a wonderful, wonderful fragrance, especially for the price point. I have to dock 1 spray off, right, because of the longevity for the EDP version. So we are going to go 4 sprays on this one, and without further ado, I'm going to go 1 on each side of the neck and 1 on each wrist. Here we go. So there you have it, guys. Another episode by the boards. Really appreciate all of your comments and feedback. Want to thank everybody for subscribing this week. Welcome to the Cologne crew. If you haven't already, make sure you turn on the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload an episode, you are notified. Thanks so much for everything. Always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care. Now, if you are curious, I ranked both of these as 4 out of 5 sprays. I like this one slightly more, but as I said, it just doesn't last as long as an EDP should. Boy, if I had to choose between the two, I would probably say the flanker is better, but the operative word again is going to be more approachable or accessible here. If you can't find Man in Black really inexpensive, if you can't find Man in Black, 1, 2, 3.